What's up, y'all? It's Ty in this video. Today, we're going to be going over ranking our top defensive linemen right now in college football 25 Ultimate Team. Now, I will say this. We are only ranking everybody that is a 96 overall defensive lineman or higher. Left end, right end, defensive tackle, all of them will be ranked on this list. And again, if you're running, let's say, a 95 overall that, is good, look, just keep running them. Whoever you want to run, you obviously can run. But I can only rank as so many guys. Otherwise, we would literally be here forever. Now, I also do have CFB fan pulled up so we can go over and talk about the cards as well, because it is hard for me to just kind of remember what all of these cards get into. And especially when you're comparing them to a guy you just ranked, I think it's important to talk about their stats. So let's start with Alex Highsmith, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, Legends card, good change direction, good block shot, good power move, finesse move, card's a stud. I mean, good luck finding better than Highsmith, genuinely. With that complete of stats, I think you've got to go at S tier. I just don't see any flaws in the card. I mean, can you find better? Maybe, but good luck. Next up, we got Broughton Fraternities card. Now, you guys know how I feel about Fraternities cards. Y'all know these cards always stink. Defense tackle, 85 speed, 88 acceleration, 94 block shed, like decent power. The card's not horrible, but for a 97 overall, I'm telling you, we're going to see better defensive tackles than him. I'll go C tier, but I just do not love the card. Donovan up next. He is another Fraternities card. Let's see what Donovan gets into. This card's actually decent for a Fraternities card, right? A lot of times, again, I hate on Fraternities cards. This card is really solid. 93 speed, 96 acceleration, gets after the quarterback, good enough block shed, 6'2". There's no flaws in Donovan. I mean, this card for his price is really good. I'm going to go A tier, but again, you could maybe go into that S tier. I do think Highsmith is just slightly better. Caldwell up next, 97 overall defensive tackle. For Caldwell, here's the big difference. Look at the speed and acceleration compared to the last defensive tackle we talked about, and even comes with a higher block shed and 96 speed. If this Caldwell isn't the best defensive tackle in the game, I don't know who is. The card is an absolute beast at that defensive tackle position. S tier for Caldwell. Walter Nolan up next. He's my current defensive tackle in this game. How does he rank, right? Because, again, we just talked about Caldwell, who's a stud. Walter Nolan's a beast as well. Maybe we should got after the quarterback slightly better there. But, again, with his speed acceleration, I think you've got to go S tier. And again, I don't love it, so maybe I'll move Walter Nolan down. Because is Walter Nolan better than Caldwell? Well, two different cards for sure. But I think both cards are really, really, really good cards. Really good cards that can play at a really high level. So I don't know. I'm going to leave them both at S tier for now. Selvey is my current right end in the game right now. I like what he gets into as far as a right end on the game. 92 speed, good acceleration, gets after the quarterback, good block shed, just no real flaws. I do think he is only A tier, but I think the card is really good. Vanderbosch, I think, is slightly worse than Selvey. And I think Vanderbosch is nearly just as good. I just prefer Selvey slightly, but again, I think the cards are the same tier. I think if I don't go A tier, I wouldn't be doing it right. TJ Parker up next. I'm telling you, anytime there's a Fraternities card, I just am already thinking, yikes. I mean, 90 speed, 96 acceleration. Not bad, right? 86 change direction's fine. Gets after the quarterback. 94 block shed. I mean, he's not bad, honestly. He probably is A tier. The card's not bad. Other TJ Parker, I got to find where he's at here. Stars of the season, TJ Parker. How good are you compared to the Fraternities, TJ? Well, he's way faster. Good acceleration. He's way better. I mean, honestly, am I gassing it by saying this TJ Parker is S tier? I mean, 99 block shed, 92 speed, 93 acceleration. I think I'm going to go A tier, but I'm moving this TJ Parker down to B tier. I mean, I'm moving these guys down to B tier. I think if this guy's going to be at A tier, we've got to really, be selective at who is going to be at S tier. So I think I like this slightly more because, again, this TJ Parker is extremely good from the stars of the season. They did something crazy with the stars of the season. They literally made those cards so good on this game. Donta Johnson up next. Let's see what he gets into at the defensive tackle position. Oh, I said Donta. No, yeah, Donta Johnson. Okay, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 92 agility, 97 strength, good power moves, and 97 block shed. You have 97 strength with 97 block shed and can get after the quarterback. I don't mind you. I do think he is D tier, or A tier, I should say. But the card is really solid. Is he as good as Walter Nolan or Caldwell? Look, I think it's close enough that I've got to throw him at A tier. I do. I don't think you can separate the cards a whole ton. Warren Sapp's another card I think you've got to throw in here. And again, it's tough at the defensive tackle position. This is where a lot of it I say, okay, find one that fits your scheme. Because a lot of these guys are the same. 97 strike, 96 block shed, gets after the quarterback. He is an A tier defensive tackle. We got both Dylan Stewarts as well. Don't ask me why this game put in 2 Dylan Stewarts, right? Or not, wait, was it Josiah Stewarts? I'll get to it eventually. Oh, 2 Josiah Stewarts. My fault. I confused it with the Stewarts, but we got 2 Josiah Stewarts. For Dylan Stewart here, I think we only got one of him, which I'm just going to rank all the Stewarts since we're here. For Dylan Stewart, yeah, only one of them. 91 speed, 94 acceleration. Doesn't get after the quarterback that well. Yeah, his block shed's good. I don't love Dylan Stewart, man. Like, I'm throwing him at C tier. I just do not love the card. Now I'm going to rank the other Stewart cards that we have in the game. So we have 2 Josiah Stewart cards here. Obviously, you can grind for the one. And obviously, the one is a game changer card. And so let's just compare the Josiah Stewarts, okay? One has 92 speed. One is 91 speed. One is 95 block shed. One is 93 block shed. One gets after the quarterback more complete. One doesn't. This Josiah Stewart, the game changers Josiah Stewart, the one you got to pay for, is better than the free Josiah Stewart, which I don't like, but it's the truth. Like, this Josiah Stewart is one of the best right ends, maybe the best right end in the game. The other Josiah Stewart is fine, but he's not that good. He's not nearly as good. I mean, maybe B tier max. Like, again, and I'm not trying to hate, because I would much rather the free Josiah Stewart be better, but he's just not. And the problem is a lot of people have the, Josiah Stewart for free, so they're not running this Josiah Stewart. But he's one of your better right ends in the game. I don't know how I feel about that whole situation. I'm just not really a fan of it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Elijah Roberts up next. Really solid left end in the game. I feel like when I've looked at Elijah Roberts in the past, I've really liked, not Gobert, my GOAT, Rudy Gobert. But Elijah Roberts here, 92 speed, 94 acceleration. Gets after the quarterback, 96 block shed is pretty solid as well. Just no real flaws in Elijah Roberts, I should say. Is he S tier though? I don't know. Like, if you compare him to Alex Highsmith, Highsmith I think is just faster. But is Alex Highsmith really that much better? Like, I think he's slightly better, and so I'm gonna leave him there. But I don't love the fact that he is the only player at S tier. But it's what it's gonna be right now. Reddick up next came out a while ago. Honestly, at this stage, this signing day set came out a while ago. 92 speed, 96 acceleration, 97 finesse moves. The only thing I don't love is the 91 block shed. I wish that was quite a bit higher. So I mean, I guess I feel like I've got to put him at B tier. I don't love him, but I feel like that's where he belongs. DeMarcus Lawrence up next is really good. I feel like he doesn't get talked about a ton, obviously because he is expensive. But the card is good. Look at the price tag. Just ridiculous. Good acceleration. 98 block shed is insane. Good at getting after the quarterback. I don't honestly think he is A tier, though. I'm going to go B tier. Like, yeah, the card is good, but I just don't think he does anything, crazy on the field. Again, I don't use any abilities on my defensive linemen, so I'm not really going to talk about them. But if you are one where you use abilities on your defensive linemen, look and see, do they get quick jump if that's what you want to give them? Do they give, whatever disruptor, whatever you want to give them, just look and make sure they get the abilities you want. Princely up next is an LTD, so you can change the scheme if you want. Decent finesse move, decent block shed, gets after quarterback decently. I feel like he's a B tier type of card, though. I feel like he's okay. Is he as good as that Josiah Stewart, though? Maybe? Like, is he as good as the good Josiah Stewart? This is where I really struggle, because it's like, I think he is, right? But I think Selvey is just as good as well. So maybe this is what I got to do. Maybe just move that other Josiah Stewart down. It's just tough because, again, a lot of these cards, you're splitting hairs, right? Between S tier through B tier, really, you're splitting hairs. Jadeveon Clowney up next at that left end position. I feel like he's just okay. I feel like when the card came out, yes, the speed's good, the power moves, block shed's good. He's actually solid, but he's not overly fast. The acceleration isn't overly good. I'm going to go B tier. Gerald McCoy, I know as far as like a defensive tackle, he's fine. I don't think he's A tier level, though. I just don't. And I know his strength's good. I know as far as block shed's good. Getting after the quarterback's good. Maybe you could argue A tier. I mean, he's not as fast as some of those guys at my A tier. Even him compared to Warren Sapp, I think I'm taking Warren Sapp. I'm sorry, Joe McCoy, leaving you a B tier, especially for your price. You're just not it. Demon Clowney up next. See where you do belong on my field here. 92 speed, good acceleration, gets after quarterback well, decent block shed. He's good, man. Demon Clowney's really good, especially with his ability to get after quarterback. I think you gotta go A tier. Without acceleration being 96, that's insane to me. Derek Brown up next. Where are you? Are you on Gerald McCoy level? Not quite as good. Let's take a look here for Mr. Brown. 89 speed, 94 acceleration. I'm not really a fan of this card whatsoever. And I'm not hating. I don't want you guys to say, Ty, all you do is hate. But you're not that good. You are a C tier type of card. Brew up next from UCLA here. Let's see, how good is Francis Brew? 85 speed, 89 acceleration. Yikes. Is he our worst card so far today? I think he might be D tier for the card. And now we're going to get into some of the 96. So we probably will have some of the lower tiers fill out, right? I sometimes mix them up, sometimes don't. This video I didn't. 91 speed, 95 acceleration. Decent enough block shot, decent getting after quarterback. I don't think this card's horrible. But I think he's only C tier, right? Again, I'm not hating. I think C tier is definitely where he deserves to be at, but I don't think he can go any higher. Rossiao up next, left end here. Let's see for did I type his name in? Okay, Greg. All right. I see? I'm bad at spelling, man. It was never my forte. 91 speed, 95 block shed. Doesn't get after the quarterback though. It's like, what are you really doing? You're a run stopper, but that's really it. Yikes. Manager up next, Skog. Okay, let's see what you get into. 91 speed, great tackler, decent acceleration, decent to get after quarterback. Wish the block shed was higher. I'm going to go D tier. I just don't love him. I wish the block shed was higher. Wish he got after the quarterback better. Sure, you're a great tackler, but that's it. Peter Woods, 89 speed, 93 acceleration. Again, doesn't get after the quarterback that well. Yes, the block shed's great, but not super complete. Will Anderson up next. I feel like Will Anderson is super cheap on this game. Is he worth the price? Well, let's take a look at what Will Anderson gets into. 60,000 coins, 89 speed, 93 acceleration, good block shed, gets after the quarterback. I honestly don't think he's horrible. I do wish the card was slightly faster. But again, I do think outside of that, C tier is where the card does belong. Terrell Suggs up next. Left end in this game. I feel like when Suggs came out, I wasn't a fan. But he doesn't look bad. I get after the quarterback. I wish a block shed was higher for the card. I'm going to go D tier. I do think Will Anderson just gives you a more complete card. Newton up next. Let's see for Newton where he does ultimately belong. 90 speed acceleration. Good block shed. Gets after the quarterback. I think C tier is where he belongs. I'm not saying he's the best card in the game. But I think if you don't have him at C tier, you're doing something wrong. Abdul Carter up next. I know he's only a 96 overall, but I'm telling you right now, if a card is in that stars of the season set, you gotta hype them up. 93 speed, or 93 acceleration, 94 speed, gets after quarterback, good block shed. Am I crazy for putting him at A tier? Because that's where I'm putting him. I don't care. I don't, like 94 speed, 93 acceleration, I'm going to hype him up. Gets after the quarterback with the 98 finesse. I'm sorry, it's what it is. Mason Graham up next. For Mason Graham, I think it's going to be a little tougher. I know he's a stars of the season card, but I don't know how great this card was. 87 speed, 86 acceleration, 99 block shed with 97 strength is nice. Gets after the quarterback well. I honestly think he's just as good as Gerald McCoy. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I think he's just as good as Gerald McCoy. I mean, so I'm putting him at B tier. Gerald McCoy's B tier, so is he. Jalen Carter, super cheap. I actually don't mind him for his price right now in this game. Do have to make that known because I think, for his price, solid enough, does hold it down on the field. I do think C tier probably is where he belongs, though. I think the card's good, not necessarily great. CJ West up next. I'm going to be honest. I've never liked CJ West in this game. We've seen a couple of CJ West cards, I do believe, or even, the cheap CJ West starter game. I think I ran him. 97 block shed is nice, but he is D tier. Halati up next. See where you do belong here. And again, Oregon team chem is nice. Gets after the quarterback, decent, good strength, good block shed. Honestly, C tier. He's still for sure playable. Still pretty solid on this game. Ashton Gillette is still my left end in this game. And so, is my team a little outdated? It is. Sadly, it is, because Gillette is just not great. Block shed, okay. Gets after the quarterback, okay. He is C tier, though. You can't go any higher. This Mason Graham stinks. Nightmares Mason Graham is F tier. He's our first F tier caliber card. It's crazy the difference between this Mason Graham that I'm about to showcase and the stars of the season Mason Graham. The difference is so massive. I mean, I'm just telling you right now. The difference is just insanely massive. So if you look at Nightmares, he can't move. He can't get after the quarterback. The only thing he's got is good block shed, but that's not enough to be on the card. Patrick Payton, at this stage, yes, he is still going to get after the quarterback. I get that for Patrick Payton. But when I'm looking at things like he doesn't play the run well at all, 88, and so I don't know. I'm going to go D tier. I really don't like the card. Now we have some 98s. Junior is, I do believe, your best defensive tackle in the game. I do believe it. Now, again, you can change the scheme to fit yours. That's part of this, right? Because, again, I'm not saying he's, ideal, but he has 97 speed, 98 strength, 96 block shed, gets after the quarterback, and you can change the scheme. He fits mine. I got to go S tier. He's not necessarily worth his price. I want to pay $700K for him, but he is S tier in my opinion. Next up, we see Westmoreland from UTEP. Okay, let's see for Westmoreland what the card does. 92 speed, 97 acceleration, good block shed, gets after the quarterback. Again, for a card like this, it's hard for me to be super negative, like 97 acceleration is crazy, 6'2", just does a ton on the field. Is he that much better than Selvey, though? Like, that's what I always go back to, because Selvey's the card I'm running, so I just don't know if he's that much better than Selvey. The acceleration definitely is, but, like, outside of that, I don't know, man. I think I've got to go higher, but I think I got to go A tier, but I don't think he's that much better than Selvey, honestly. Desmond Watson up next. I know his block shed is really good, but outside of that, I don't know how great he is. So when you look at Watson, only 87 speed, 94 acceleration is nice. Good block shed. I think B tier is probably the right tier for him. Not bad. Not necessarily next level. Abdul Carter, this is the problem. Why is a 98 Abdul Carter not that much better or better at all than the stars of the season Abdul Carter? He's not better. Like, compare the cards. 98 Abdul Carter is not as good as the stars of the season Abdul Carter. He's still solid, but he's not as good. And so, like, if you're wondering, Ty, why are you so low on the game? Why do you not play? Why? Like, it just does not add up. It does not make sense to me why this Stars of the Season Abdul Carter is better than the 98 Abdul Carter. It makes no sense. Kano up next, defensive tackle from Texas here. Let's see what his stats are like and how high I can go with the card. 86 speed, 88 acceleration. Yikes. This card stinks. I know the 99 strength is cool, but this card is not great. I'm honestly going to go C tier. I don't like the card whatsoever. Kayvon Thibodeaux is your best right end in the game. I said it when the card came out, and I believe it. I don't believe there is a right end in the game that's better than what he gives you. I just don't. And if you want to argue with me, then argue with me. But I'm telling you, there's not. 94 speed, 97 acceleration, good finesse move, good block shed, great change of direction. He is your best right end in the game. He is. With that speed acceleration, there's no right ends better than Thibodeaux. Last but certainly not least, Taco Charlton. When he came out, he's fine. He's not necessarily crazy, though. Good acceleration, gets after the quarterback. He's good. Definitely deserves A tier, probably, in my opinion. That's going to wrap it up. Again, A tier, B tier could honestly probably merge together. I think it's really tough to separate them. Anybody C tier or lower at this stage, you can use, like, I'm still using Ashton Gillette, but they're just not quite that elite of the elite. Honestly, at the defensive line position, most important advice I can give, try to get, if you run a scheme team, a theme team, try to get guys that fit those. That's my best piece of advice for you guys. That's going to wrap it up. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.